Hello, this is DDJJ, and this is video 4 of my making my first game. Alright, so today I'm going to be drawing more prototype art in Aesprite, and then I am also going to be working on Unreal Lighting, as well as talking about, basically what happened with the Unreal Lighting. Definitely a learning process that I found out from doing it. But yeah. I'll just go ahead and get to that later. So right now I have a attack down motion for the first stance. So now I'm just going to also do the follow-up. So I got the 3 frames because that's what I'm doing here. 1, 2, 3. Yes. All right. So I'm just thinking about the slash motion. I think I'm going to have him do like a crisscross. Yeah, so let's go ahead and start with the sword. Yep. Sword's going to be here. This is going to kind of be similar to the attack up animation. Actually, sword can probably be like right here. Oh, if I just kind of like move that a little bit. So this arm is not going to be there anymore. I think that arm would be a little bit over here. All right. And slash. Dun, dun, dun. I don't know why the default doesn't always do in front of the sprite. Alright. I like that little intro. I like that little beginning where it's a very thin line and works its way up. I think that looks pretty good. Just start thinning out up here. I think I'm cutting off a little too much. Yeah, maybe more like that. Yeah, it's like I could use the slash that I'm doing for the up motion on the other one, but I kind of like this actually. Okay. Yep, I like that. All right. Yep. So these two can actually go here and there. Okay. So we got. And then the opacity for the sword, or the slash, 130, and I think 26. $30. 26. All right. So now I was thinking like a crisscross. Go ahead and take those out. Add that in so I can kind of get an idea of where he's at. Just trying to think what direction the sword would be in. So I think it'd be kind of pointing like that. Yeah, I think this is just, I just need to just start drawing it and then it'll kind of get the idea to me. Just a slight movement of the backhand. No, this would be a little bit more like closer to him and still at an upward angle. So kind of the same angle, but in a different position. Yeah, I'll have to keep thinking about it. I might need another frame in between to designate that, or to kind of give that impression that he's doing like a crisscross motion. I mean, I think the slash will kind of give that idea, but let's see. Because that would like start here. Yeah, I don't know why this one's coming. This one's kind of difficult for me to think about in terms of how the angle should look. Well, it's like it's kind of hard to do the angle with without really detailing it. But I think this is kind of getting what I want. So let me see how it looks with the animation. Do I make that fatter or thinner? I think fatter. Yeah, I think I leave that fat, kind of thin this out a little bit. And I think that kind of gives the impression that there's a swing towards. Yeah, it's like I think it should be fatter, like it's closer because it's kind of like going in that direction. Yeah, so I think that makes sense. All right. See how that is. Turn that off. 130 and 26. Yep. Yeah, so that's going from right to left, left to right. So this is going from down to up, and then another down to up, but on the other side. So down to up from the right, and then a down to up from the left. Okay, so yeah, it's like that's why they would kind of be similar silhouettes, because it's doing it from, yeah, they're both upward motions. They're both upward motions, but they're crisscrossing. Is that what I want? Or do I want it to be more like a... I don't know. I just don't know how I feel about it. I feel like that needs to be a little bit more. Maybe. Yeah, I kind of like that. Oh, nice. Oh, I thought it'd say the opacity, but apparently not. Oh, because I didn't actually save it. There we go. Okay, 130, 26. Play with the angle a little bit more. Just realized, seemed a little too fat on the bottom. Kind of. I think it just needs to be a little bit higher. Kind of like that. It's not evened out. Yeah, I guess I didn't realize this one was going to be a little bit trickier because it's starting from his left side and he's moving towards his right side. So I have to like show that depth in the motion for it to make sense. Yeah, it's not too bad. I feel like I gotta put a little bit more weight there, but then that looks a little out of balance. That looks a little bit better. Do I want to drop this a little bit, maybe? That's not too bad. I don't hate it. Yeah, I think that angle's a little bit better. Just add a little bit more width here. And maybe thin it out on the other side just a little bit. I think that's good enough. Nope, that does not do that. All right, 130 and 26. It's not perfect, but I think it's good for now, just to get something going there. Yeah, definitely not perfect, but that's all right. I feel like I want another frame of animation just before he goes back. On that one, I kept it there. Yeah. Yeah, so we should go with that silhouette for that. Okay. 1, 2, gone. 1, 2, gone. Yep. Okay. Got it. All right. And put them about. Do I got the right? Yeah. Okay, some blur lines. I think I might add a little bit more. Let's try that. Yeah, it's a little bit better. Might not be consistent with the other ones I've done for now, but we'll, when I start doing the final design, that's when I'll start caring about making sure that I'm consistent with each blur motion. Okay. Oh, I forgot to erase some lines in the sword. Oh, beautiful. Gotta love it when you draw on the wrong layer. There. Try that again. On the sword. Let's just go ahead and let's just go ahead and get that back. There we go. That means that's gonna be incorrect. Yeah, definitely not that motion. Pretty sure it was 3. I think I just need to clear those out a little bit. There we go. That's a little bit better. Not sure why that didn't look like it was moving much, but okay. Yep. All right. Back to the sword. White. And some. Okay. Now we can draw that. And most of the blur lines moved. Take out more of this. A little too thick. Yeah, good enough, I think. Yep. All right, let's do some block particles. It's not terrible positioning. I think just putting them right there is good. And since the positioning wasn't too bad, all I gotta do is just kind of move these around. And then just same thing, kind of get them in the right position. All right, so now we got another follow-up attack. Cool. Gonna do some dust. I just realized I don't have a shadow for these either, so I will have to go back and do that. Alright, so dust, dust, dust. I do have some dust particles lingering, but that's okay. So kind of a whoosh. In that direction. I think it needs to be closer to the ground, probably not as hitting the enemy, because I gotta remember the enemy's gonna be standing there too at some point. So how'd I do it on this one? There it is. Yep. Honestly, kind of a similar motion there. But yeah, same idea, you know, moving towards that. little bit up, kind of fade. Now we're kind of dealing with the fade is now in the background as opposed to the foreground. So now it's kind of like, definitely want dust in front of him. And then just kind of like do it like a motion like this, I think would work. Yeah. Yeah. I think that works. I like the dust particle. It kind of makes me think like, do I want to redo that slash animation right now? Because I kind of feel like I got more of what I was looking for with that as opposed to the slash. Yeah, because I feel like the slash kind of probably needs to be like close to like right here with that endpoint. Slash kind of like right here. I do think it's a little bit better. But I don't want to harp on it too much, because that's when you just take forever. And usually I feel that the more you step away from something and come back to it, the more you'll be like, oh, it doesn't look too bad, and then you're okay with it. Or it just comes to you of like, oh, I meant to actually make it look like this, you know. Just seems to always work that way of like stepping away from it, coming back, then it comes to you, as opposed to just like sitting down and trying to force it. I just feel like that never works. Yeah, I still got to figure out the angle on that second slash. It's still not perfect, because now I'm looking at the beginning part of it and thinking it needs to be higher again, because I think that's what I did last time. But yeah, I'm not going to harp on it. I'm just going to say it's good enough for now. I'll revisit it. Alright, I think I got everything. Am I missing anything? Nope, I do not think so. Okay, so now we just gotta do the hit versions of this. Let me get another one with hit particles. One, two, three, four. Yeah. Okay. All right. Save. Save. All right. Let's do hit versions. And it could also be that, yeah, I may not like how it looks right now, but maybe once I implement it into Unreal, I look at it and I'm like, oh, it actually doesn't look too bad. So, you know, there's always that too. That's right, I do these as two layers. Particle 1 and particle 2, because one is blood. All right. So let me grab. Actually, the particle changes depending on the direction. So honestly, I'm not going to use the same assets. I do need to change it up. The only asset I'm going to be using the same is this, like this little beginning part right here. Okay. All right, cool. Yes. There we go. All right, take these away. All right. So I'm thinking like starting that direction. Although it is worth it to see like, oh, do I already have one that's kind of like that? Kind of like this, but a little bit more of the upward angle. No, so that's all of them. You got 1, 2, 3. Yeah, okay. All right. So no, this is going to be its own for this one. And what color did I use? The highest pink. Yeah, because I did want it to be more like this. Yeah, with that same X starting off. Yep. And then that becomes thinner as it goes up. Signifies a slash or a cut. Yeah, make it just a tad longer. Yeah, it's gonna be a little uneven now, but that's all right. It's not the finished product. It's a little too uneven. Okay. Now it's too thin. Yeah, Good enough. You only see it in one frame. You know, that's the thing about a lot of these, is that it's only one frame. It's only going to be one frame of them seeing it, so it doesn't have to be super perfect. Is that? Yeah, it is. Okay. And on last one, I just have it really dissipating. Yep. Okay. Yep. All right. All right. So all right. Blood. And I do not add the blood until it gets to the bigger cut. Yep. I think I wanted to like try to make it like more of like a curved, like a slight, like it cuts and then it slowly falls. Because I think on the last one I kind of like had it like hover over, but now I think I kind of want to do it to where like it kind of falls. I mean, something like that. I don't know if I'm necessarily happy with that, but yeah, it's good enough. Good enough to get the point across for right now. Okay. Alright, good. So now I got some. And then this is where it needs to end on. Starting here. And then I need to grab that. Nope. Yes. No. I need to actually copy just that little part, not the entire frame. So that way, that's the only new one I'm adding. Now this one I could reuse this asset. No, I can't. That's not the same angle. Is it? Not exactly. So I'm not going to. I'm going to say that's more like that angle. Okay. One, two, three, four. Sure. Something simple. Okay. Yep. All right, so we start off cut and blood. Okay. Going down, going down, going down. Thin, thin, thin. And then I was like, oh, that's the dust particle. It's funny. That is the dust particle. You need to be a little bit more down. There you go. Cool, cool. That's a little bit more down. Okay. All right, now we're in this slash. Which is now going to be a spot right here. And see, that's the thing. Maybe now with the hit particle, it'll kind of drive point of what direction it was from. So in this case, yeah, I'm kind of thinking I would want it to be like that. Kind of similar to the other one. I don't mind them being their own unique ones, even if they are similar. That needs to be thinner, thinner. And fade. Okay, come on. Yeah. All right. All right, let's see. Yeah, I think it's like because I did the full animation on this one, but on this one I realized I actually had to start it in the middle of the other attack. I think once I see it in full animation, then I'll be like, oh, okay. Which I will see once I implement it into Unreal. Yeah, all right. So particles, dust. All right, I think we're ready. And then this is the follow-up. Yep, so we shall see how that looks. Alright, so if you've seen the previous videos, you may notice that the project looks a little different. And the reason why it looks different is because I realized something while working with pixel art in Unreal Engine and the Paper 2D functionality that they have. So I kind of mentioned that the lighting was kind of like awkward, and it's like I could only really see my characters, or at least like how I did the colors in Aesprite if it's unlit. Because if it's lit, the material of the sprite was emitting some light on top of what they already had. So this is kind of covered in other Unreal videos that are out there on YouTube. Like if you just type in Unreal Paper 2D, you'll see tutorial videos from Unreal themselves kind of talking about this, and that's where I basically took the idea of what to do. So at first, and this is why I didn't stream a couple of days ago, because at first I was a little distraught because I was like, okay, I can't, and I looked online and there was no way to, like when I run this, it's really dark because I don't have much lighting in the level right now. But when you go to unlit mode, then you see everything as you're supposed to see it, or at least that's how it came out when I did it in Aesprite. But when you go to lit mode, then you know it's relying on Unreal's lighting. Everything I could see online is you cannot run it through with unlit mode. You can, but there's a lot of... You're basically forcing Unreal to not be Unreal in that case. So I basically said to myself, okay, well, rather than trying to fight Unreal, I think I should embrace it, because, you know, I could have done this with a different game engine, but I really like Unreal's coding. I like the blueprint visual scripting, so I'm going to embrace it. So what I'm going to do is I am going to have my sprites rely on lighting in the level. So now I'm having to build lighting, and that's also on the agenda, is for me to actually like get this to look sort of like this. See, like this is unlit. When it's unlit, you know, you see it like how it was prepared in Aesprite. But when you're using lit, there's a little filter. Now, I do kind of like the filter. I think the filter does kind of like make the pixel art look a little bit clearer. I'm sure some like pixel art enthusiasts would argue and say, no, it has to look like, you know, full pixelation if you want that old school look. I don't necessarily need it to have an old school look. I mean, at the end of the day, I just want it to look like a game. I just want it to look good. I mean, it's like I'm not restricting myself to say, oh no, it has to have like an old school pixel art look. Just because it's my first game, so I'm not putting that down as like a must-have, or like it's not a deal breaker for me. Because like in this mode, I do like how the character looks. I think the character looks pretty cool. Yeah, you may be missing a little bit of the finer details, but my biggest thing is the color is a little different. That's probably my biggest issue with it, is that the color becomes a little off. But with Unreal Lighting, there are ways to customize the lighting. So that's kind of what I'm working on right now. I'm kind of working on getting the lighting to where I'm happy, because I'm not fully happy. At the end, it's like I would love it. The game would just look like this right off the bat. I didn't have to customize everything. I didn't have to customize anything. Just right off the bat, boom. Here's how the game looks when you plug it in. But unfortunately, that's not the case. Unfortunately, we do have to kind of work with Unreal's lighting. But the good news is that does give me the opportunity to do cool things. Like if I have a fire, I can actually have the fire kind of like illuminate light on the sprite, which I do think is very cool. That's something that I would have to do that in Aesprite. Like I would have to, like when I'm drawing an animation in Aesprite with a fire, kind of like lighting off the character. That's how I would have to do it if I wanted to do it in, you know, like this mode where I don't rely on Unreal Lighting. But I think relying on Unreal Lighting is a pretty cool thing. So I may want to look up Octopath Traveler, because Octopath Traveler is definitely a game that was using sprites, but in a modern engine and with modern like look and feel. I want to say they kind of have this filter on, but I could be wrong. So yeah, that's what's going on with lighting and Paper 2D and Unreal. All right. So let's get our new sprites loaded. Okay. Don't want to do them all at once. Why not? Down, 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 down. Let's try them all at once. Those aren't sprite sheets. No, they are not. Down, down, up. Let's get the other ones. Those were hit. These are block. Cool. Oh yeah, no reference image, please. There's another unfortunate thing that's happening with Unreal that I will show once I get that uploaded. Oh, sorry about that. Okay. All right, there's hit, spreadsheet. I think 4 columns is how I did the other ones. Little bit of particle effects going on there. Okay, now it should be fine. Loading them on there. I got a little scared for a second there. I was thinking, oh God, what did I change that it did not like? Is it gonna do it for all 4? It does do it for all 4. Oh, nice. Okay, I'm also pretty sure. This is down 199 to 150. Pretty sure that's what they're all set to. There we go. I'm pretty sure these are blank. These have just a little bit of particle effects, but these are blank. So yes, I can get rid of these. Do I want to move them now? Yeah, let's move them now. Okay. Minto. Stance 1. This will now be attack down. There we go. I hope I'm right that those are empty and I'm not missing a particle effect. Okay, those go down. This is it, everyone. This is game development. You say, I want to make games for a living. This is the work. Alright, so now I got all these new ones, and like I did with here, yeah, I'm not going to delete the old one just yet, but I do want to add a folder. Follow up. Hoo boy. Naming convention is okay, I guess. Could make it better. No follow-up. Follow-up 0 to 9. There we go. Okay. So no follow-up 210. That's 0. That's blocked. That's hit. Okay. Flipbook, FB, make sure naming is good. Yes. There we go. So here's the problem I have discovered with Unreal. I should say another problem I have discovered. Haven't looked it up on potential solutions, but notice how in my sprites well, it's a little hard to notice with this because it's in okay, if I just switched it to unlit, then you'll see it. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now notice how for the first slash, or the first frame, it's fully colored. Second, its opacity of the slash goes down, and then it goes really low here, because that's the effect that I wanted from, you know, to show that, you know, it's happening real fast. But for some reason, so it exists in the sprite. I can see it. I can see it's fully colored, and then it slowly gets dimmer as intended. But when it goes to the the flipbook, FB, when it goes to the flipbook, it doesn't do that. And let me go to unlit so you can see it in full. So there's full, still full, and then it's gone. So for some reason the flipbook doesn't, even though it's in the sprite, it doesn't get the same opacity. So here's the workaround, or here's what I'm probably going to have to do. I'm probably going to have to do my slash animation as a Unreal object rather than doing it in Aesprite. Because, I mean, I'm going to look it up to see if I can figure it out, to see why the flipbook is doing that when the sprite has it. But if I can't find a good enough answer, then what I'm going to have to do is switch it. So this will have to become an Unreal object. So that way I can actually control it with the Unreal Engine and get the effect that I want. Yeah. Oh, kind of sucks. Kind of have a feeling if I did that with another engine, it probably wouldn't do that. Just another one of those Unreal things, it looks like. Alright, so let me... Alright, so let's add that flip book here. I might even break these down at some point, but hierarchies. Everybody loves hierarchies. Yep, so the one I did was block. So now this one is attack. That one goes to 10 as it should. FB. There we go. So yeah, it just looks like it's something with whenever you try to mess with opacity in Aesprite and you try to do it in Unreal, it just doesn't work. There it is. I forgot to adjust it before I moved it to the folder. So there we go. So at least the hit animation looks good. Or the hit particle, I should say. At least that looks fine, but that's because I didn't mess with the opacity. But yeah, the more I think about it, the more I realize that, yeah, it's probably just going to have to be the slash animation is just going to have to be it's going to have to be an Unreal object that changes. Or it would have to be a Unreal... It can still be the sprite material, but what I would do is I would not mess with the opacity in Aesprite, and instead I would change the opacity in Unreal instead. So in Aesprite, I leave it at full opacity for the entire animation, the 3 frames that I'm doing. But then I'm going to have to put logic in the Unreal to locate that slash animation slash effect and put in logic to say, okay, switch its, which is probably going to be its alpha rating because that's like the opacity rating, switch its alpha rating lower while the animation happens. So yeah, that should be interesting too. The other funny thing is that I feel like I can see it in the preview. Like it looks like the opacity change happens in the preview. Like you can see it's doing the opacity adjustment. But when you open it up, it doesn't do it. And on this animation, you kind of see it right here. Like it registers it when it has something behind it, but the rest of it doesn't. It's really weird. I need to look it up. And I looked up the lighting, and that is where I got that's where I got set up with that, so that's fun. Makes me not want to look things up because that's where I find out that I can't fix it. But it's better to know now than to figure it out later. All right, so now here's the follow-up. Yep, that one goes to Mento. Okay, hit, hit, flipbook, FB for Facebook. All right, so new ones are added. I believe I got this now set up properly. So block, no follow-up. No, I do have to add all that stuff to the attack down, because these were all up. These are attack down. Oh joy. Okay. 1, 2, 3. So this is now going to become, let's keep it uniform, block, no follow-up. And let's copy that. Follow-up. Hit, no follow-up. And hit, follow-up. Alright, and I should have changed the first one so that way the others would have adjusted automatically. Pop flipbook. Array, array, array. Now to move these in position. So attack up, block, attack down, block, no follow up. Yes, that one was already there, and I was moving up the block. Yes, okay. Down hit. Down hit, follow up. Okay. Here they are. Ah, there's the old attack down. You are going into retirement, my friend. Down, block, no follow-up. Yep. Down, block, follow-up. There we go. There we go. I know I didn't put it in my agenda to actually implement these, but I figured, yeah, let's go ahead and do it. All right. So now we got these new ones here. Oh, that's right, the enumeration. That's what I forgot last time. Yep. Attack down, block, no follow-up. Attack down, block, follow up. Attack down, hit. And attack down, hit with a follow up. And put him in the right spot. Up block. No follow up. Yes. Alright. Now it's going to tell me to recompile these again. There you go. Game into is okay. Alright. Alright, we're going to need some more room. So let's move you down. Especially when I do the left and right. We are going to need some more room. So I'm going to preemptively give it all this nice extra space. And let's start moving down. For you, I just have to do this. And now I got to do this. Let's move these up. Give me three brand spanking new ones. I'm gonna not do that because sometimes if you try to copy it, it will try to do that array instead of a different one because you're duplicating from that array. I don't know. I'm just being paranoid. It's happened. I promise. Block, follow up, hit, no follow up, hit, follow up. Okay. So I think he should. And the camera's gonna be a little wonky because there's something I forgot to adjust with the light. Yeah, right there. That was interesting. Instead of doing attack dash, he did. Interesting. Yeah, I guess it just went to attack dash in the battle HUD blueprint. Okay, I just wanted to make sure that this looks correct. It does. All right, let's go to the battle HUD. And let's try to remember what I had to do with attack up and do the same thing with attack down. You guys should be not like that. You should be like that. Alright, cool. Alright, so we're going to be in the attack down branch. I mean, at the very least, this should be working for every stance that I'm going to end up doing. So it's like, yeah, it's a little tedious to have to build these different branches, but I still think in the long run it's going to save a lot of work. So I believe I had to change this. I definitely did. So that means I'm going to have to change that as well. Let's just look at it side by side for right now. Yep. Alright. No. Attack down. Okay. So here's attack down. With delay. Yep. Okay. Just taking a look side by side. So it should just be that I just need to move these down out of the way for now. Give me some more space. And then with you. Alright, so with you, we're still doing attack cinematic for 0.3 seconds. Yep. Still doing attack dash. Let me make sure up is still working as intended. because it should. Nope. Now up is broken. What did I do wrong? Attack dash is attack dash. Okay, so I don't think it's this. It's the animation state. Attack dash. Goes to attack dash. Oh boy, what am I forgetting? Why does that still do that? Okay, well. Whoa! He started doing attack left. Yeah. Oh man, this got all sorts of jacked up. For no reason. I'm looking to see why the camera goes. Why the camera all of a sudden now disappears. These are the camera positions. It just might be too low. Maybe. This is also not showing anything, which is weird. But you're in the radius. I'm assuming because it's doesn't like it being low to the ground. So all I gotta do is just grab that. Sorry, grab that, move them together. Oh, I gotta grab the lights. 1, 2, 3. I think that's everything. Yep, just kind of move it up like that. Now let's see if it gives me that same issue. Hopefully not, in terms of the camera position. Now it's going totally in the wrong position. So this is like a culling issue because it looks like it's culling it. But I have it down to 0 for the minimum screen radius. Alright, another issue for another time. I will handle that off stream. I might actually just handle this whole thing off stream because I don't know specifically what's going on with the attack dash not being... It's clearly calling attack dash. But not only that, now it's playing these other animations. Like he did attack left at the end of attack up. So I'm getting thrown a curveball right now. It's like, what am I forgetting? So this was the original attack down. 1, 2, 3. One, two, three, which is, that's where attack dash was. That shouldn't make a difference. Okay, just make sure I got this right. Make sure I'm not forgetting something. Attack down, no follow-up. Attack down, block, no follow-up. With follow-up. Hit, no follow-up. And down, no follow-up. Dash. Dash. And I would not have changed anything. Yep. Alright, so I will have to handle this off stream. This is where I will end the stream today.